Ava Jarrell from Pendleton Heights. I'm a senior. I was the state champion in the 3,200 meter state track meet last year, and I was the runner-up in the cross country state meet. I at some of the bigger meets last year, I performed pretty well. Carmel Distance Showcase was one of the bigger ones. I was able to win that, and yeah.
That's a big deal. You're so
Thank
humble and I love it. Like even how you're telling us, those are some
Right.
huge accolades, right? And
thank
so
you.
yeah, so Ava, what would you say being on a big stage like that, how do you mentally prepare for those types of competition?
Yeah, it can definitely be a little challenging just because all the competition there is some of the best you'll see. But I know just like with conversations with my coach, he tries to really build up my confidence, which was a big thing for me because, going into the season last year, I wasn't very confident in myself, but just throughout the season, he helped me do that. And so for some of the bigger meets, that was a big thing that helped just knowing like that I can trust my training and know that I kind of belong in that field of girls. So yeah, just trusting myself and knowing that I can compete there.
Are you talking about last year when you won state?
Yeah.
You didn't believe in yourself before you won?
No, I was super nervous because I mean, the top three that kind of stayed with each other the whole time, I mean, it could have been any one of us. But no, I mean, just from the beginning of the season, like indoor even, I just, I was not very confident in myself. But middle of the season and kind of end, I started to trust myself a little more.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're trusting yourself. We
Yes,
got a chance to see you run at the HSR meet.
Oh,
yes,
really? Yeah.
Yeah, so we were there. Yeah,
yeah,
it was an impressive run.
Thank you.
very much
Speaking
so.
of which, how did you even get started running?
So I started back in it kind of started in fifth grade a little bit. Like we don't have a team for that in fifth grade, but it was a field day actually. I was in the 200, I believe, and so I was like, oh, like I really like it. So the next year in sixth grade, I could start running, and so I started out as a sprinter. Didn't really want to do anything above the 200, so I pretty much just stuck with like the 200, 100, 4x1. I did a couple 400 here and there, but at the end of the season, my coach at the time, she encouraged us to go out for cross country. And at the first time hearing that, I was like, I don't think I really want to do that. But then, like 10 minutes later, I was like, no, actually, I think I want to because I want to stay in shape for track. And so, I start going to conditioning and everything, and I ended up liking it a lot better. And I noticed I was doing better at it than I was sprinting. And so from then, I really just stuck with it, and I have really enjoyed it ever since. So, yeah.
Well, shout out to your coach for telling you all to do cross country because that really helped you to find your sweet
Yeah,
spot.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, who would you say is your biggest inspiration in the sport?
I would say I have a few. My aunt is definitely one of my biggest inspirations. She's a runner herself, actually. She still runs. But when I did start to get into cross country, my seventh grade year, she helped me over the summer. There's some races like locally that go on. So she kind of took me to some of those that she was doing, and she kind of helped me there. And I would run with her because I really wasn't sure what I was doing. But she's just helped me so much, and she still does. She's actually helping coach our team this year, and so it's really cool to have her there. But also my long distance coach, Coach Bear, he is just such a busy guy, and it's crazy that he has time to help coach us, but he still runs actually too, and so he is probably a big inspiration for me as well. Just seeing how he is continuing to run, even though he's a surgeon and all of these other different things, and it's just like crazy to see how he's able to balance it all.
That's cool. What's your aunt's name? She's
Yeah.
Laura Flood.
okay.
Uh,
Shout out to Coach Flood.
Yes,
yes.
sure.
Yes. So you had some, like, I mean, clearly some great things to celebrate, right? What would you say is your favorite memory from competing so far?
I would say probably the state meet last year for track. It was just such a fun day. Like the race itself, it was a tight race the whole time pretty much. And so that itself was really exciting to be able to come out from that on top just because of how great the competition was there too. But not only the race itself, but some of my guy teammates came and supported me there. And so just having them there also helped me out. Just seeing them around the track and before and after, it was really fun. And after the race, we went out and ate, and it was really fun. So probably that meet, I would say. And that was the first time I've been all state also. So
Uh,
I was really excited about that.
You came in with a major splash.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm the champ. I'm the champ. So,
right.
like when you having an experience like that, what is it that what do you have to look forward to the next year? I mean, and I guess that was a great boost for you, considering that you were runner up in cross country. I'm curious as to who beat you, but I'm just like, okay, that's a huge confidence boost coming from I won state in the 3200. I'm second, runner up in cross country. Between the two, I'm just curious, which one's your favorite, track or cross country?
I love track. Cross country, I like it too, but I just think that for track, I have endurance, but I also have like more speed, I would say, which is really helpful in track. And so I really like that. And I get to do like the shorter, like, well, not really short, I guess, but like the mile and 800 and 32. And then I'll jump into 4x4 too. So that's really fun to do. I really like the 4x4.
That's
But
nice. That means you have great foot speed.
Yes.
yeah, it definitely helps in those bigger championship races for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it's clear that you started out as a sprinter. Your coach suggested you do cross country, but there's nothing like having that sprinter's kick
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
for sure.
last.
It definitely helps a lot.
Yeah. So what are the goals looking like for you this year?
Yeah,
Short term, long term. Well, in track and field, first short term with the track season, long term with the sport of track.
yeah, definitely. This year I am really hoping. I know Carmel's next week, so I'm looking forward to that. And I won it last year, so I'd like to win it again. And if not, top three finish would be really good. And then as far as like postseason, like sectional, regional, state, I hope to get back to the state meet and get, top three finish. That would be pretty big just for me. I know the competition every year, and anyone can be up there. So top three would be really fun. I'm not sure which event yet. We're still, thinking about it right now. But yeah, I want to podium again in something. And then I know I'll go to either the New Balance Nationals or Nike Nationals. I'm not sure which one yet, but I would hope to place in one of those meets as well. And then long term, I'm going to IU to run, and so kind of looking towards that, I want to help, be able to help the team out and be maybe a major part of the team and scoring and everything. So I know when you get up to college, it's really different. So I just want to be able to kind of help out in that aspect. And maybe even, try to get to an NCAA meet at some point down the road. That would be really fun just because I know I like to, or I enjoy watching them right now. And I have, and so it would just be really cool to be able to actually be in it myself.
Um,
I can see that happening.
yeah, for
And college
sure.
is
And they,
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both ran in college.
yeah,
I probably
yeah,
learned more of my first practice in college than I did all of high school.
Oh,
absolutely.
really?
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was a I mean, I'm just saying my high school, not that they were like, you know, really up to par. It was I discovered later that we really had a talented group.
Yes.
But in terms of what happened in college, it's like, whoa, this is a different world.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to frighten you at all. You're
No,
good.
yeah. You're
Thank you. Yeah, no, I know I have some friends that I ran with last year that are in college now, so I try to stay in contact with them a little bit and just hear from, their experiences. So I
Find
can
out
kind
the
of prepare.
find out the workouts early so you'd be mentally prepared for when you
Yeah.
know they're like, okay, this isn't as bad. So you talked about, your long-term and short-term goals. Again, you still remain very humble, and I just love that, right? Even you talking about like, I hope to get in the top three, which really shows how you look at your the people you're competing against. So, with that being said, how do you view your competition when you're going into a meet, knowing who you may be running against or not, wanting to look at that so you can focus in on yourself?
Yeah, I know in some of like the bigger races, Indiana has, I would say, some of the best distance runners. And so just coming from that, we are not only competitive, but we also are typically friends with each other. And so, going into the meet itself, we'll be really friendly with one another, and which I think is really good. Just, and at a meet, you're typically like really nervous and everything, but you have friends there, which makes it more fun. But when it comes to the race itself, I think we all have that switch we can turn on, and although we're friends, we can also turn it on and we're not friends on the track. We're very competitive, but then once the race is over, we're back to being friends again. But no, we all know just like how each other runs and how competitive it can be. So I think we like to use each other and really just see what we can do. And yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Man, that's cool. And I guess my question with that, so you distance running is a little different than sprinting, right? And
Yes.
so you have more time to kind of strategize. You can play with your race, you can do some different things in your races. How do you define what you would consider to be a successful day on the track?
Yeah, for me, I try to set like small goals, like just kind of for every meet, depending on what I'm doing. And so, like, for me, just like a successful meet would maybe just be like achieving those small goals. So, like, I know at our county meet, this coming Friday, I have, small goals to just be able to score for the team, like as many points as I can. So, like, I'm loaded up in a lot of races. And so I just want to be able to, get as many points as I can and help them out. But, outside of like those kind of meets, I like to be able to, definitely go sub 5. Like that's probably a good goal for me. And then and the 800, it kind of depends on the day, I guess, but maybe around like a 2:15 would be good. And then since I'm typically in the 4x4, I always try to go sub 60 or sub 60 just to close out the meet and have fun with it. So, but no, it kind of just varies meet to meet with the competition. If there's not as much competition, I might do some sort of workout within it, but at some of the bigger races, just trying to compete and not really kind of lose focus on what I'm doing. If I can just stay in the race and do what I need to do, and just hit the times I want to hit, then I think that would probably just be a good meet for me.
You're incredibly humble.
Thank
Very much
you.
so.
You,
I really want to ask you, Ava, like, how you said when you get on a line with your competition, you all are friends and then something switches. Do you have a different ego for yourself, like when you're in the race that no one may know about, right? Like this
Yeah,
is Ava in practice, this is Ava talking to her friends before a competition, but it's a different Ava when we step on the track.
I would say so. Yeah, I am very competitive. And so like when it comes to racing, yeah, I just try to do everything I
I
can
love that.
to
Yeah.
be able to do what I need to do to hopefully win. Yeah. No, I would say my teammates kind of know this too. They're always like your face is just super focused and you almost look bad sometimes when I'm racing. But
Yes.
then yeah, when I'm done I'm just like, okay.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
come back.
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, you got the competition. You're a competitor at heart, and I love that. And so, like me and Coach, we can see it. Like, man, she is so humble, but clearly there's something inside
right.
that helps you just
Yeah, for
compete,
sure.
right? So you talked about like the day of the race and kind of the different strategies and stuff you have, what would you say even for training, right? Because you're training for cross country and then track. What keeps you motivated through all those training sessions?
I would say just kind of like for me, I know what goals I have, and so I know what I need to do in order to get those, which is just working hard every day. Um, you know, not slacking off in practice or anything. I need to show up and give 100% at whatever it is, long run, recovery run. Typically, I'm cross training at some point in the week, so I can't kind of lay off on those days. But yeah, just doing like the small things too at practice, like that helps a lot. So yeah, just stuff like that, I would say. And I just know I need to focus on those things because I know it'll help me to get where I need to.
So with the two seasons, they're longer. You run long distance, so you're doing a lot of training. How do you keep yourself healthy, like physically and even mentally? How do you keep yourself healthy throughout those two seasons?
Yeah, I know early on, like my freshman year, kind of my sophomore year, I have dealt with some injuries, but what I've noticed is just like whenever I've had a couple stress fractures, but I've noticed it's typically whenever I'm having like a low iron. And so whenever I start to kind of feel like super tired a lot, and it's not even really like from hard running a lot, it's just like in general, like in school and just like around normal places, like I'm just down on energy a lot. um I kind of am like, oh, maybe I need to go get checked, and the injury is kind of what has helped me kind of figure that out too, if it's low. And just from that, I've gotten it up a lot. And so because I get it up, I don't think I've had as many injuries. If I'm having like soreness, that's pretty much all it's been since I've kind of figure it out. But I would say kind of just staying on top of your health, one on that aspect of things definitely helps. And nutrition, that's a big thing too. You need to be eating, I wouldn't like restrict a lot of stuff just because that can cause some other issues, but eating fairly well, but also enough because as distance runners, we're running a lot, burning a lot of calories, and so you really need to be like refueling yourself after your runs, just so you're not kind of getting unbalanced on anything, and stretching and kind of just doing the recovery stuff like icing and everything, like ice baths. That's another big thing that I've noticed has helped. So I think just a combination of all those, like nutrition, recovery, and just staying on top of your health in general. Those are probably some of the biggest things I've noticed that's helped. And I know early on, I also didn't know I had asthma. And so figuring that out was a big thing because I would always get like side cramps in a race, or my legs would just hurt all the time. I used to have really bad shin splints, but I figured that out. And so that's not really an issue anymore, which is good as well.
And that's great. Vitamin D is a big one when it comes to like stress fractures and stuff like that. Like a lot of the research, they don't publish all this research, but some of
Yeah.
the stuff that's come out lately about most of the people who have stress fractures, particularly female athletes, it's a
Mhm.
vitamin D deficiency. So I'm
Yeah, I think I've heard about that too, actually.
yeah, just one more thing to keep you healthy.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, Ava, you talked earlier about your aunt being an integral part of somebody who's inspired you in the sport. How have your parents played a role in supporting your athletic career?
Yeah, they are definitely like very supportive of me. They always have been. I think they've kind of, as I've gone through the years, they've learned a lot more about the sport of track and cross country. And so with that, you know, when I have like a good race or something like, and they know I have, they're just always super excited for me, which is really good. And they're also just supportive, like outside of racing and stuff. Like they do so much, like they're cooking my meals when I am getting home late from practice, and just making sure I have everything I need. They'll go get my ice the night before I race. So I have that. So they're kind of doing like that stuff to help me as well. But yeah, no, they're definitely very supportive. Like at meets, I can typically hear them uh, really loud. And no, and even if like I have a bad race, they know not to really say anything just because they know I'm probably the biggest, like I'm my biggest critic. And so
Mhm.
if they know like I'm not doing as well, they kind of just know to like not really say anything, which is also probably a good thing just because like they know I'm probably a little hard on myself, but that's also like another aspect too, I would say.
Share your parents' names. We want to give them a shout out too.
Yeah, Reno and Ashley.
Thank you both. Cool.
Yes.
Now, Ava, if we had to ask your coaches or your teammates to describe you in one word, what would it be?
I would probably say probably determined. Yeah. I know like in practice they typically uh, like they see me going after it, and there's some runs where I might push it a little. So they know I'm trying to go for it and get the most out of it that I can, and like in weights and everything. I'm trying to get the most out of everything, so I think that that probably would be the word they would use.
So, Ava, if we wanted to follow you on any social media platforms to continue to see your successes for your senior year, what platforms could we follow you on?
I have Instagram. It should be Ava J underscore 23. And I have Twitter, which I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, those are the two places.
All right.
Thank you. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck this year. We're excited to see how this art outdoor season will come together for you, and we'll be cheering you on for sure.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for joining us. All
Yes,
right.
of course.
Have a good
Mhm.
one.
You too, guys.
All right.